Okay, following water procurement and first aid, I have an array of fire making options. I always like to carry a fire steel, a good reliable fire steel. This one is Light My Fire steel, which also has a whistle on the striker. And I don't just carry one option for making fire. My preferred option is a lighter. I carry a small big lighter, and I also have a Fresnel lens. Okay, now these on their own are fine. However, I also like to carry some impregnated material, which is like small cards filled with compressed cotton and covered with wax, which work really well with the fire steel even in wet conditions. However, the bomb-proof tinder for wet conditions is a piece of rubber tubing. You just cut a small piece and use the lighter for it, and it's just a fail-safe. These are my fire making options. And also bear in mind that the Fresnel lens is sort of like a credit card and could be used to scrape off bee stings or anything of the sort. Okay, so following water procurement, first aid and fire, here we have an array of cutting tools and cordage, and then we'll be discussing the signaling devices. Okay, in my kit I carry a regular Swiss Army knife. It has various options on it. It's very sharp. Over here in Malta you don't need anything much bigger than a Swiss Army knife to get a lot of these things done. I mean, if you're in a situation you're not going to stay carving spoons or making spears or anything of the sort. You just want to go to a safe place. Even though Malta is very small, trust me, you can find yourself in situations where you need to at least procure water, purify that water, and perhaps make a fire. I doubt it if you'll have a situation where you need to stay building shelter or anything of the sort. However, if you're caught during summer in a place like on the west part of the island, which is very barren and which is very rough, so to speak, you might need to make a shelter to provide shade rather than a shelter to sleep in. So here I have a flexible wire saw, which is always useful. It weighs nothing and makes life very easy. And this is about 50 or 60 feet of 130 pound fishing line. It's about 1.5 millimeters thick, and it's 130 pound tested. So here I have 60 feet, sorry, of readily available cordage. Over here, this is very important. You might find yourself, as I said before, in a situation where you just can't get out immediately, and believe it or not, we have places in Malta where a mobile signal doesn't really work. So here I have a good whistle and also a signaling mirror. Okay, we'll have separate videos on a separate video on how to use the signal mirror. It doesn't take much, but you need to know how to use it properly. Following that, I have a small torch flashlight. I think this is about 16 lumens. It's from Cyberlight, and it's really good when camping. It's really good when camping, plus also I have a spare battery for it. Okay. Following this, I have some separate miscellaneous items in my kit, like a can opener. This is just a small button compass, which also enables me to take a bearing. This is a sewing kit which comes in really handy, and I've used it on several occasions, and also a pencil with duct tape. Now in the freezer bags I have some pieces of paper on which I can take some notes. Last but not least on the list, and I mention it last because if you're in a situation, food should be your last priority. In my opinion, in Malta, water should be your first priority. Water, and obviously taking care of your body from injuries, and the last thing on your priority should be food. Well, in my case, it's really a close call if food should be on as a last priority. However, jokes aside, in a survival situation, food should be your last priority, simply because your body has its own reserves. Here I invested heavily in a good fishing kit. I have about 40 meters of nylon there, which is I think 2.5 kilo tested. I'll be lucky to catch something more than 200 grams in size, a couple of floats, and also a surgical blade, shaving blade. Following that, I have some snare wire, and I think in Malta it's illegal to snare animals. However, I think if you're in a situation which is life-threatening, which is almost next to impossible, if you're lost for 2 days or more, you can forget your chances of being found. Well, anyway, I have some snare wire here. It came with a previous kit which I had, and I just put it there. Probably I'll use it in conjunction with cordage. To conclude, everything goes in this pouch. Over here you can see the paracord in the kit. Everything goes in this pouch. Everything is snug and tight, and I mean it weighs about 300 grams, but it's obviously really worth carrying this kit with you if you're gonna go on a camping trip, because these are little things which make life a whole lot easier. I mean, I've never been tested to use this kit on its own. However, I've been camping several times with this kit, and obviously other pieces of camping equipment, but carrying this kit makes it easy, you know, to make fire, use a cutting tool. I experimented with purifying some water last time. It tasted quite good, actually. I was surprised. I have a small first aid kit there. I have my IFAC individual first aid kit as well. In the camping kit I have a torch, and obviously you might tell me, but here you have redundancies to make a fire. Well, I go by the rule of two is one and one is none, and this is obviously very important. Believe it or not, even though a camping site might be just an hour away, walking that hour drive and making it back on foot makes it look a whole lot harder, and having these little items of equipment in your kit will make things a lot easier. So that concludes the first video on our utility kit / survival kit. I hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to leave comments and any suggestions which you might have on improving this comment. Obviously, please be reasonable in your comments. I don't want any name calling, or I would have to resort to deleting you from and blocking you from this channel. However, please feel free to leave your comments and discuss, and I'm really looking forward to having discussions held on this topic. Thank you. One last thing about these sort of kits. Please make your kit your own. Do not buy these ready-made kits. because they might have some stuff which applies to you or the area where you live in, and they might have some stuff which might not. As well, these kits, these ready-made kits might have stuff which is not of quality that is up to standard when you really need it to work, and which might fail in a trying situation. So please design your own kits around your needs, and bear in mind that sometimes it might pay to buy something that might cost a bit more than that found in a regular kit, but you know that it's not going to fail your needs.